about some ACC basketball today inside Cameron Indoor Stadium with 16th ranked Duke and the Stanford Cardinal. Duke right now on the host bubble for the NCAA tournament, plenty at stake for them. Stanford right now is on the bubble. And it's been nearly 40 years since they've missed out on an NCAA tournament. They've got plenty of work to do. Hi, everybody. Beth Mowins alongside the Naismith Hall of Famer Debbie Antonelli. Let's talk about Duke fighting for the top spot right now in the ACC with a tremendous bench led by Toby Fournier.
Look, this Duke team is dominant on the defensive end. They're so disruptive, and they can affect the game on that side of the ball so easily when they're connected and how hard they play. And then when they substitute and bring Toby Fournier in the game, she can score. She moves without the ball. She shapes up nicely. She makes herself available on penetration. She leads this team in scoring and rebounding as a freshman off the bench. She's coming off a huge game in their win here against Cal. Her first career double-double, one of what I expect will be many.
They defended the three well against Cal. They're going to have to do that again today.
Stanford's one of the top three-point shooting teams in the country, 39% as a team. They get their threes in a variety of ways. Skips in transition, playing inside out, spacing the floor, moving the ball, making you a pass to a pass and a half late on a closeout. They've got multiple weapons outside the arc, and this is going to be the D versus the three in this game here this afternoon in Cameron.
There you see the numbers for Kate Pay's club in her first year, taking over for the legend, Tara Vanderveer. They do not have a quad one win yet this season. They could get one here this afternoon. For Duke right now, their net is top 10 in the country. And just a game out of first place behind Notre Dame, and immediately an unforced error for Stanford.
Duke is going to be up the line. They're going to be active. They're going to have high hands. They're going to have great body position in the passing lanes. You're going to have to be able to manage that if you're Stanford.
Delaney Thomas will hand it off to Reagan Richardson, and she'll hit from mid-range to open up the game for the Blue Devils.
One of the things that Stanford will try to do is get some early threes, quick hitters in their transition. They're not going to slow the game down. They are going to play with pace, and they love to back cut.
Nunu Aguera, the left-hander, off the mark. Both these teams good on the glass. Duke in particular on the offensive boards, and the Blue Devils have hit their first two shots right out of the gate. As you check out the starting five for Stanford, a freshman and a sophomore in the backcourt. They're going to have to handle the pressure better than the Cal Bears did midweek when they turned it over 31 times in 40 minutes. Ijiwoye had it knocked loose by Taina Mayer.
Well, Stanford's a team, Beth, typically likes to play off the pass. They're going to have to be able to make shots off the bounce today because Duke is going to be long in their closeouts.
Here is Ijiwoye. The freshman out of Phoenix has only played a handful of games so far for the Cardinal. Shot clock winding down. Good defense from Duke leads to a breakout and a breakaway and a travel before the shot from Jaden Donovan, who couldn't get the puppies set right.
You got numbers, 1, 2, 3. She missed it anyway.
Elena Bozgana, 20, and Brooke Dimitri, 21. They're big three-point threats in this starting lineup. And here is Dimitri stepping back around and out.
You're going to get open threes if you move the ball. And Stanford moves the ball well. They're going to have to make them and not let Duke speed them up.
See if they can find the bottom of the net. The Cardinal have opened up the ball game 0 for 4.
Nunu Aguera with the basketball right here is their top scorer, number 3 in black. She loves this pinch post, which is the entry to the elbow, but she doesn't even look at the basket.
Dimitri gets a wide open look and buries it.
It's that Bozgana cut, Beth, through the lane that drops the Duke defense and leaves Dimitri wide open. They ran the same play back-to-back. They just did it on opposite sides of the floor.
Stanford was hitting a ton of threes early in the season, non-conference play. Now into the ACC, still knocking them down, not as much as teams now know to try and jump out at them. Short corner, shot is short from Donovan. Clardy off the bounce, off the window and in.
Stanford will play a little bit of a softer cover defensively. They're not going to be up the line and overplaying passing lanes like Duke will. And they will guard personnel, so they will sag on those that aren't that good of three-point shooters and protect inside out.
Mayer, sidestep for three, got it.
At 33%, I think Duke would let her, or excuse me, Stanford will make her hit a couple before they change what they do on their point guard, Taina Mayer.
She's got 5 of their 7. Dimitri, the cut to the bucket for Bozgana, blocked by Jackson, and it goes off of Elena out of bounds.
A nice back cut right here, but this is where you're going to need a shot fake. You need the shot fake against Duke's defense.
They average 5 blocks a game, 13 steals a game. Mayer, short. They had 20 second chance points off of 17-0 boards in the Cal win this week. Shot clock's down to 5. Richardson trying to create space and hits the spinner. Richardson trying to create space and hits the spinner.
I mean, that's a tough 2. You want to make Duke hit shots like that all game.
4 for Richardson. Look at the spacing for Stanford, all 5 out. Opens up that back door, opens up the driving lanes. Aguera, the double comes. Ijiwoye for 3. Weak side, Bozgana no. And here comes Duke, rebound and run. Mayer will take it the distance, short. And now numbers the other way. Aguera for Stanford and a foul.
Reagan Richardson, second team All-ACC last year, crosses 1,000 points this season. Turnaround jumper from 15.
Nine to 5 Duke in front of Stanford. Debbie, how about the job today for the Cardinal attack?
You know, Beth, when you show up to play against this defense, you can't all of a sudden just work on it a couple of days of practice. You have to have all these concepts already built in to play against pressure teams. Kate Pay told us they've been working on pressure all season. Ball fake, shot fake, dribble entries. We've seen that, high post entries, through the pinch. And then their ability to be able to play off the bounce is going to be really important. And those back cuts are going to be open if you space the floor.
They've had a dribble drive for a bucket, and then they've had an entry and then a kick out for a 3. Look at Tara Vanderveer on hand today. It's sitting in the bleachers, Debbie, not on the sideline.
I can't believe Tara's probably ever sat in that seat there in Cameron.
38 years at
amazing.
Stanford with 3 national championships, and now handing over the reins to Kate Pay, her longtime assistant and a former player.
Sorry, Beth. Athletic Director Bernard Muir created a spot for Tara in an office, and she coaches the coaches at Stanford, including whenever Kate Pay wants to come in her door and talk hoops.
There's Bernard. Made the trip here to Duke. Something to keep an eye on all year long. People will be watching how does Stanford and Cal do when they have to come to the Eastern time zone and the Central time zone. So far, they are a combined 2-6. And for Stanford, After traveling 7,000 miles in their road games last year, they'll be traveling 21,000 miles this year with their 4 trips in the ACC, and another bucket in the paint. Courtney Ogden. All right, Duke has brought Toby Fournier into the ball game as well, 35 in white.
She traveled the first time she touched it. And when you're coming off the pressure package like we talked about, you've got to be able to do this right here. Watch this screen right here, and then the great cut to the middle of the floor. This opens up a driving lane. See, how are you going to defend that screen away? And right there, if I'm Kate Pay, sorry, Kate, I'm running that same set until they guard it, because with her great staff over there, with the experience that they have, they notice the same things. So did Coach Vanderveer.
Most of the staff has been there a while. It's been a very smooth transition.
Well, they all are played except for Tempe Brown. All these players and Heather Oster there. You got Katie Stedding, an Olympian. You got Jeanette Poland, a great player for Final Fours and WNBA. You got Erica McCall, who played in the WNBA and on Final Four teams. A lot of experience there.
Backdoor cut, Clardy to Dimitri. Beat the freshman on that one.
That is what we're talking about. Really nice setup off the bounce. And you see a more settled Stanford team coming off the last time out.
Jackson gets into the paint, knocks it down. 5 for 10 to open up here for Duke.
Ashlyn Jackson has a really nice mid-range game.
Blue Devils offense, much better numbers this season in year 5 under Kara Lawson. Dimitri for 3, way off. Fournier, got it, top of the key, wide open.
That would be her second triple of the season. That's impressive. Willing to shoot it from the trail.
Top 10 recruit out of Toronto who can dunk it as well as shoot the 3.
A lot of times bigs in this trail position, this is a great time for them to take it. Certainly knows how to throw up the 3 sign for a freshman that's only made 2.
Got to be in the discussion, right, for ACC Rookie of the Year, probably in the mix for National Freshman of the Year honors. It's a pretty good class that has come in this season.
I think there's a couple of names on that list. Certainly Sarah Strong at UConn, Jelani Cambridge at Ohio State, 2 teams that are still undefeated. And then Danny Carnegie, don't forget about Danny.
The one team that's still undefeated,
Ohio
State.
Yeah, right. Danny Carnegie, who plays at Georgia Tech.
Fournier tripped up. One of the things that Kara Lawson loves about Toby is she is not afraid to get to the bucket, and they get her touches immediately when she gets into the game. She's a good finisher, plays with a lot of confidence for a rookie. Three off the mark. Weak side rebound to keep it alive. Loose ball. Still on the deck, and Duke will come out with it.
No change of possession. 10 on the shot clock.
Final 2 minutes of this first quarter. Mayer off the hesitation. Vergara snags it. Clardy will take the open look and knock it down.
Beth, they're putting the freshman, Toby Fournier, in a lot of ball screen action early on.
Trying to attack her, and Toby, her second turnover. Although Duke is arguing there was no possession yet.
Drag, Fournier in drop coverage. Clardy says, that is too much separation.
Full court pressure here for the Blue Devils. Stanford has only turned it over once so far in the ball game.
Big key, and certainly a stat to keep an eye on.
And Duke without a steal yet. So Stanford doing a much better job than Cal did midweek.
Here's a high post entry.
Dimitri. Shot clock's at 5. Agara again going to work. Fournier rejects it. Second chance won't go. Good defense there by Toby. Alucci Akanawa, another spark off the bench for Duke. Number 5 in white.
One speed, Beth, and that is fast. No change of pace in that game.
Second unit in there for Duke. A young group as well. A lot of freshmen and sophomores getting quality minutes. And off of the hostage dribble, Jackson is able to draw the foul. %83 on the season for Ashland. How about our SEC ACC Super Tuesday basketball doubleheader? Mississippi State squaring off against Tennessee on ESPN2, then on ESPN, North Carolina and Wake Forest. Another great night of hoops coming your way Tuesday.
North Carolina coming off a loss to Stanford. Maxine Reynaud continues to be one of the bright spots for Stanford, and Wake Forest has won 5 in a row.
Huge win for the Cardinal men.
Tennessee coming off a loss too. How about Vandy? Mark Byington,
big
head coach at Vandy, has done a fantastic job.
Number 10 on the shot clock. Clardy working on to Jesus. Second chance. Third opportunity and a foul as the Cardinal hit the old boards. That was Ijiwoye, the 5'6" freshman, keeping alive the second time.
It's a good drive right here. A lot of contact on that drive. Your smallest player on the floor keeping it alive on the glass, and then Nunu Agara leads this team with 3 offensive rebounds a game.
Don't forget, by the way, coming up on the women's side this week, a huge showdown Thursday night on ESPN. Number 2 South Carolina and undefeated LSU. First big challenge for the Tigers, although they do have a win over Tennessee on their resume.
Really excited about that one because I think Kim Mulkey's guards can score in a variety of ways. I expect that to be a low-scoring game, possession for possession. Both coaches like to slow it down, and I think it's going to be fun. Really fun to watch.
South Carolina has won 12 in a row, all by double digits, including 5 wins over ranked opponents. That UCLA loss really serving as a wake-up call for the defending champs as Jackson around and out, trying to beat the buzzer. 4-point ball game through 1, Duke. And ways of galvanizing people from all walks of life to unite. Also, as you would imagine, speaks very highly and thinks often about her head coach, Pat Summitt. That's why they're wearing the purple today, her coaching staff. This is We Back Pat Week around the SEC, and Kara also taking part, the purple for Alzheimer's research and the fight against Alzheimer's.
Agara gets a 5-second call. She didn't even look at the basket. Like, when you catch the ball at the pinch or the elbow, you need to be a threat to score. She's capable of a one dribble move to the rim.
Clardy jumps into the passing lane. She'll take it all the way and ran into DeJesus, which affected her shot. One of the things with Nunu Agara that Kate Pay has talked about is learning to be at the top of the scouting report.
Exactly.
And the responsibilities that come with being the go-to guy or gal. can be a big step for some mentally as well as physically.
Yeah, when you catch it there, particularly with her skill set, I know she's trying to run the play, but you got to read the play, not just run it. And it is different when you get the best defender and people are targeting you as someone that they think they need to stop, so they load up their defense to keep you from doing what you're comfortable doing.
They lost Cameron Brink, Kiki Iriafen, and Hannah Jump from last year's 30-win season. As Ijiwoye will head to the line. Set my first foul on to Jesus. The jump this year for Agara.
I mean, it's significant from last year to this year. Remember, you just mentioned Kiki Iriafen. She played sort of behind. Got some good minutes, though, last year as well. But look at the jump in production. And there's still another level for her. I think she's that good.
Kate Pace says just scratching the surface. As they try and work their way through their first season in the ACC, they have a top 5 recruiting class coming in next year.
I know our conversations with Nunu Agara have been joyful. The kid loves to play, and you can see it when you watch her play.
Fournier will try again as Agara sags way off of her, playing the percentages there. Ijiwoye has been much more aggressive offensively.
There you go. It's a hard hedge, it's a tag, it's a skip, and then a drive. It's a perfect way to attack the Duke defense.
Here's Ashlyn Jackson, whose numbers are all way up this year. 4 of her last 5 games, she's been in double digits. Off the mark there, and now Stanford a chance to take the lead. And a travel.
Ijiwoye right here attacking the closeout. See, Akanawa has to tag the roll, and then she has to recover. It's a perfect time to go off the bounce, especially when the top foot allows you to drive baseline.
Richardson kicks it back out for an open 3. Jordan Wood, the sophomore out of Chicago.
You know, Beth, when I was watching the post players shoot, Jordan Wood was the only one taking threes. Toby Fournier wasn't shooting threes when the post players were getting their shooting workout done before the game.
Agara isolated, Delaney Thomas defending. Nunu tries to muscle in there, and they're going to call the offensive foul on the rebound on Nunu. Her first.
Wow, I don't know, Bill. We have a different angle on that play.
Wood sets the screen for Mayer, who will pull up from 17 and knock it down. Taina having a good first half. She's got 7. Already above her average today. Stevenson in the ball game. Dimitri, the fade on the baseline. Held ball possession arrow to the Blue Devils.
Watch this screen right here on the top of the floor, and because Wood has hit a 3, you got to worry about her popping to the 3-point line. It's just a good read by Mayer.
Now her second year at Duke after transferring in from Boston College. Akanawa, offensive foul.
One speed, Beth, fast. If she ever learns a change of pace, she's going to be even that much more dynamic to defend. Clearly. Good call by the officials. Full court press in a different way. Pressure on the inbounder.
Clardy will bring it across to O'Gara. Everybody on the perimeter opening up lanes. Shot clock's down to 5. O'Gara again does not look to the bucket. And instead, Clardy has to jack. Good defensive set for Duke.
Beth, you can see E.G. Woye for Stanford. We've watched her now for a couple of weeks, right? We had them last week. She's starting to get more time, more confident. Now she's in a starting role, and you can see her getting more comfortable. You can see her taking over ownership of the team.
This Duke defense is a tough nut to crack. They've held Stanford to 25% shooting here in the first half.
Nice.
Thomas. Biggest lead of the ball game now for the Blue Devils.
Really nice read by Mayer, the point guard for Duke.
Tough pass for Stevenson to make, and it's picked off. Jackson, coast to coast, takes a bump and one. Duke run.
Mary Ashley Stevenson trying to force this pass on that cut. And look how quickly Duke comes right at him. There's not much there. Enough that the officials thought that it should be an and one opportunity.
Which Jackson is able to convert. 9 points for Ashland to lead all scorers here in the first half. Double digits now, the lead for the Blue Devils. O'Gara in the paint, in and out. And a one-and-done trip again. Mayer to Thomas, and they are carving up the Cardinal. Timeout, Stanford.
The bounce with the delivery inside. Duke got a 12-0 run.
Taylor Tannenbaum hanging out in studio with Muffin McGraw. Coach, what are you seeing from Duke in this 12-0 run right now?
That trademark defense they really are wearing on Stanford. Stanford initially taking care of the ball, getting some good looks backdoor, but all of a sudden there's a crowd every time the ball gets into the paint, and Duke is taking advantage in transition with some easy baskets.
Coming up at halftime, we'll talk more on this game. Check in with USC in the Midwest, UConn, and LSU. But first, Beth and Debbie, back to you in Cameron.
Thank you, ladies. Yeah, that Duke defense right now holding Stanford to 24% shooting. The Blue Devils tied with Louisville and NC State right now, a game behind Notre Dame in the ACC standings. Notre Dame has SMU tonight. Louisville has Virginia Tech. Those games can both be found on ACC Network. The steal and the score for Reagan Richardson out of the timeout. And big trouble now for Stanford.
5 turnovers for the Cardinal. And Duke has scored 10 points off those turnovers.
And it's now a 4-minute drought for the Cardinal as they've watched Duke score 14 in a row, and that'll snap it. Ogden from Clardy.
They got everybody lifted above the free throw line. It's a great call after the timeout by Coach Pay. Excellent backdoor cut.
Step out Wood, 3. Good box out for the Cardinal. Clardy beats the double team off the dribble. Two defenders stayed with her. Jackson, the step through. And that'll stay at this end.
Take a look right here and watch this back cut. It's really well done. Everyone lifted, shooters in the corner, space out the floor. Big time bucket.
Three and a half to go here in the first half. Stanford trying to hang around, Duke trying to bust this thing open before the break. Thomas unattended, 15-footer.
You have to play vertically against Duke. If you play side to side, you're playing right into their defensive schemes because they're going to guard one pass away. You have to be able to get a piece of the paint to set up your three-point shooting. Like she's not even looking at the basket.
Shot clock's winding down again. They're going to have to jack or they're going to get caught. And a shot clock violation. Duke just turning up the heat on them.
Rip it and go to the basket. Yes, Coach Pay. That's exactly what Agara needs to do.
Jackson will try deep three. Clardy has it. Thomas with the pick. All alone, another strip score for the Blue Devils.
Duke isn't just jumping out to hedge, they're hedging to steal. That's a couple of times they've been able to blow up Stanford's early drags and early ball screens.
Ijiwoye rejected, she hits the ground hard. Numbers the other way for Duke. They find the three-point shooter, Jackson, for a triple. Dominating defense, leading to breakaways the other way for Duke.
Blocking in the play into transition, and Duke is on the run.
College Game Day crew will be there for their first stop of the season at Colonial Life Arena. You know it'll be rocking in Columbia. Thursday night, 7 o'clock on ESPN, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus.
The best thing about Columbia is that fan base. Man, they are into it, and they will be locked and loaded early. They'll be tailgating, there'll be traffic, there'll be people waiting in line.
You got a key or two to that one?
I mean, guard play is going to be significant. Who can make the most plays off the bounce will be one thing. Offensive rebounding, always a key when those two teams play.
Great check for both of them to see where they're at mid-January. Jackson, another deep three.
Stanford right now 2 for 6 from the three-point line, so they haven't even been able to really get any good looks. Duke's defense good.
Not able to shoot the three. More turnovers this quarter. Duke has scored 21 of the last 25 points.
One of the adjustments right here, KP putting Dimitri in that pinch post area. And it results in something. You can go into the backcourt.
She should have let that take another bounce. Should have let it go. That's the 8th turnover now for Stanford here in the first half.
You notice here at Duke, they moved the band to the middle of the floor. It used to be on the end.
Jackson. Gets the bounce. Duke now 60% shooting this quarter, and Jackson has 14 to lead all scorers. Tess Heel, 34 in black, another terrific three-point shooter. As Stanford looks for some sort of spark offensively. Final seconds of this first half, and Ogden shot blocked by Donovan. 6 on the shot clock, 13 on the game clock. Kennedy Ume will come into the ball game for the Cardinal. They get a big in to replace a three-point shooter here. Ume set the screen that time for Ijiwoye. And now Duke will have a chance. Off the bounce, up and in for Akanawa. Big first half for Duke. 43 to 21. They shoot 53% and hold Stanford to 26%. As we get you back to the college basketball halftime report, Taylor Tannenbaum and Muffet McGraw.
Welcome into your halftime report. I am Taylor Tannenbaum alongside the Hall of Fame head coach Muffet McGraw. It was a close game until you blinked, and then, Coach, it felt like Duke all of a sudden went on a major run, finishing the half off on a 25-4 run. What are you seeing from the Blue Devils right now?
Well, I think Stanford came out and they were patient offensively. They were getting some backdoors. They were scoring off the bounce. And then suddenly Duke's defense just really took over. They couldn't get anything going. And the problem here is Stanford's saying, we're not going to guard the screener. We're going to let that guard navigate, and they're not able to navigate. So they're going to have to figure out the ball screen. But the turnovers are what's really killing Stanford. They only really have 8, but they've got 14 points off of those 8.
Ashlyn Jackson leading the Blue Devils with 14 points in the first half. Coach, if Stanford wants to get back in this game in the second half, what needs to change for the Cardinal?
Well, they have to stop giving up easy baskets. I mean, wide open threes, layup after layup after layup. When you shoot the ball that well from inside, it makes the basket look so big. So they've got to take care of the ball. They've got to get something going. Nagara, she is scoreless right now, 0 for 6 from the field.
Yeah, Duke in full control there at home at Cameron Indoor, where they have yet to lose this season. Down in the season here, though, on ESPN2, Ashlyn Jackson leading the Duke Blue Devils to a big lead at the break. She's got 14 points in the first half. Beth Mowins.
Kara Lawson's team has been excellent in the first half, shooting 53% from the floor, Beth, and getting 12 points in their fast break game.
Ashlyn Jackson leading all scorers with 14. And you see that huge run to close out the first half. What's at stake? Well, Charlie Brackett says Duke right now is on the host bubble. Those are those 3, 4, 5 seeds projected right now, trying to become a top 4 seed in each region. Those are the ones that get to stay home in the first and second round. What's at stake for Stanford? Well, it's a doozy. 36 consecutive years playing in the NCAA tournament. And right now, Charlie Brackett has them as the first team out of the field as they continue to try and find their way through their first season in the ACC, where it's awfully tough with these long road trips.
Adjustment off the timeout, halftime. Nunu Agara catches it in the middle of the floor. And what does she do? Pump fake, jab step, drive to the basket, get fouled.
And Agara is the one that is slow to get up here after the collision. The foul on Mayer, her first. Agara was 0 for 6 in that first half. She did get a couple of trips to the free throw line.
I think she may have got a finger in the eye here. Look at this. Spin move, attack in the middle third, shooters spread out. This is what Stanford can go to here. This is where they'll be at their best. I guess she can't shoot the free throw, or they're going to take a look at it. I thought she got poked in the eye based on what she said. Looked like she said to coach. They are going to take a look at it.
Palani Spurlock, Karen Prieto, Ashley Gloss, the officiating crew today.
I don't think there's much there. I don't think there's anything excessive.
Unnecessary.
For a potential upgrade. We are in a media timeout window.
So since we're also in the media timeout window, we'll take the break with them as they take a closer look at that. the officials took a look at it and ruled that it was just, in fact, a personal foul, as we suspected. So Aguera at the free throw line, 77% on the season. But getting her more involved, getting those paint touches and attacking the rim, the only chance really that Stanford has to get back into this thing.
I think that's a huge adjustment. You know, you saw Coach Pay bring her to the bench, put Dimitri in that spot in the pinch or in the elbows at the end of the first half. It's a good adjustment right here by Coach Pay to tell Aguera, probably at halftime, look, we're going to need you.
Doesn't have a basket, but she's got 4 free throws now. And it's a 20-point game for the Blue Devils after that huge second quarter explosion. Their defense leading to their offense. Well, Clardy wasn't looking for the loose ball. Mayer picked it up, and now Aguera with the rebound. Ijiwoye tried to force it. Jackson pull up 3 in transition. Second chance coming for Duke. Mayer slashes her way inside for 2, and here comes the full court press again.
Single side 2-man game. Clardy rejects the screen. Now you go right to the pinch. You know, with a clear out.
They do not get Aguera the touch.
Ducked in.
Now she's got one. Force that over Thomas. On the run, Richardson, lefty lay-in. So quick with their transition game. She's got 8.
They have excellent team speed. All 5 can run.
Aguera, second chance. Thomas with a block, and then Thomas able to clear it. Again, they'll push. Richardson for 3. And that'll head the other way.
It's impressive the pace that Duke plays with their depth. And there is no drop-off. Right? I mean, Toby Fournier, who leads them in scoring and rebounding this season, played 7 minutes, just about 8 minutes in the first half. They have a lot of ways they can win.
Carol Lawson pregame told us about pace and paint. They are playing up tempo. They are scoring off the bounce in the lane. 20 paint points already, and they are forcing turnovers with that defense. That's number 9 on the day. With a net of 9, their strength of schedule is at 4. They are 3-3 in their quad 1 games. With an impressive resume, if they have to go, you know, with the selection committee head-to-head, they've got wins over Oklahoma, Cal, and K-State. A couple of those neutral ground wins as Aguera has a chance for a 3-point play.
Really good take. The lefty going to the right. Swipe it through. Handle a little contact, but not lose your focus on the finish.
Sophomore from Minneapolis, her scoring is up this year 12 points per game. Her rebounds up 5 per game over a year ago. Missed assignment here, and the Blue Devils will try and cash it in. Stanford able to respond.
Ice in that ball screen, and she just snakes right behind it while Stanford's in drop coverage.
Another offensive rebound and a second chance. Wood for 3. Way off.
She did hit one in the first half, but that was a nice fill behind the penetration. Duke's impressive right here. They've been excellent. You know, the one thing Carol Lawson said, can we keep stacking things together, plays together, wins together, effort together, back to back, and I think they've done that so far here today.
Charge on Aguera, her second. Thomas' head hit the ground pretty hard. She's going to come out. The athletic trainer quickly out to check her out. Toby Fournier will come on, number 35 in white. Mayer from the elbow short. It's touched by Ume. Delaney, 8 points and 7 rebounds today as she continues with the examination on the bench. The pick, the roll, and it rattles in for Fournier.
That's a weight room finish right there by the freshman.
She's got 5. Dimitri Ume calling for it. A double comes. Misses the layup. Second chance with the left hand up and in.
There's some size playing in the post.
Such an adjustment, right, for Stanford on their front line with Area Fenn and Cameron Brink both departing.
And an adjustment to the ACC as well. I'd say more pressure teams in this league than in the Pac-12 last year.
Clardy pass deflected. Wood got a hand on it. 3-on-1 break. Wood rewarded and missed the layup.
I think Jordan Wood has played well. 6'4" sophomore who can move and can shoot the three. Slighter of build than other post players for Kara Lawson, but still effective.
Thomas will come back in for the Blue Devils, along with Jayden Donovan. That shot way over the top of her head, knocks it down. Her first bucket.
Like a hanging old school jump shot. Not quite Jamal Wilkes, but
a little Wilkian. Here comes Clardy with the push. Ogden will try for 3 and get it. It's only their 3rd of the game.
3 triples.
One of the best three-point shooting teams in the nation, but it's been tough sledding from downtown. Okanawa with a push shot up and in. Duke dominated in the second quarter, and they continue to get it done here in the third. Another takeaway and a foul. Hey, coming up later, the ACC Network quadruple header rolls on. Got Louisville at Virginia Tech. And then SMU at Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish right now at 6-0 in the league on a 10-game winning streak. Louisville, surprise turnaround for them. They've won 7 in a row, and they are 1 game back. 53-31, Blue Devils in control. Timeout on the floor. I know we don't pay a whole lot of attention to point spreads, but no respect for the Irish in the championship. Tomorrow night, coming your way on pretty much every network we have. We've got all kinds of options for that one. Plenty to choose from. Hope it's a classic for the national championship. Notre Dame
Can't wait.
And Ohio State. First year of the new expanded playoff.
Well, yeah, forget about that.
That's a 7 and 8 seed, by the way. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
What are you going to eat during the game? I didn't ask you what you were going to drink. I said, what are you going to eat?
Well, as an upstate New Yorker, there's only one option. That would be chicken wings with blue cheese, not that ranch business. Why, what are you eating? Buckeyes?
definitely making some Buckeyes tomorrow. 100%. I will take a picture and show it to you as we carry on with the game here in front of us.
All right, back to the floor, and the officials are reviewing the last play. A foul on Lucia Kanawa.
Call on the floor is under review.
So our second review of the game. First one remained just a personal foul, and I think they're looking to see for anything elbow related.
Well, when they go back and see that angle, they're going to see that Akanawa had her hands on Agara's shoulder. So I think they might upgrade this one. Now, in the men's game, it's F1s, F2s. In the women's game, the language is different, and you have to clarify that because we have a lot of new fans watching women's college basketball. Intentional foul would be excessive, unnecessary, and I think they might upgrade this one. She probably thought she was fouled initially,
yes.
And then there's the rebound. And from this angle, you can't see what's going on behind there. But
Call on the floor stands, black ball.
wow, thought for sure they were going to upgrade that.
So instead, it's the second personal foul on Kanawa. And it will be Stanford basketball. Close in the first quarter, Duke took Stanford to task in the second quarter to bust this thing open. And now under 4 to go here in the third. Duke trying to get to 6-1 in the ACC. Stanford fresh off of their first road win of the season. They got a win down the road at Wake Forest, but it's been a struggle. They're 1-6 away from home. 9-1 when they're playing at Maples on Tara Vanderveer Court. They are looking for their first win over a ranked opponent and their first quad 1 win. And it has been a real struggle offensively today. That's their 13th turnover. There's a look home and road, and what a difference it is.
It's definitely a shooter's gem out there in Maples.
Akanawa, 3, got it.
She's improved that part of her game. This is why I think Duke checks off a lot of things that you look for in a team that has a chance to make a deep postseason run.
You think this may be Final Four material as they continue to improve over the next 2 months?
I think if their offense continues to improve, yes, their defense is definitely elite. Their team speed is elite. They've had some big game experience this year. You know, their resume includes wins against Oklahoma and Kansas State. They do have that loss to North Carolina in overtime, but the hardest part of their schedule is coming up, so we're going to find out. In conference play.
Yes, they still have a rematch with North Carolina as Agara scores inside. They play Louisville and Notre Dame late February. A tough stretch run still to come.
Play for K game over in Raleigh's NC State.
We'll be rocking. That's coming up the first Monday in February.
Well, Coach Lawson would come from the defense and rebounding school of Pat Summitt, which Pat believes helped her to 8 NCAA championships.
Mayer off the mark.
Look how Duke converges to the basketball.
3 defenders around Agara.
So well connected, good defensive habits, short, choppy steps, high hands, communication, and then they rebound.
Pep in their step, too, from the Washington Commanders' big win yesterday against the Detroit Lions, which Jaden Donovan, Delaney Thomas, both big fans. So's Carol Lawson, Harrisonburg, Virginia, I believe, right? Big Washington Commanders fan. She had her Jaden jersey on when they were showing some film earlier today. Got a whistle off the ball.
You certainly have to be able to match the toughness that Duke is going to play with, particularly here in Cameron. Remember, they went to the Sweet 16 last year, and their defense got them there. This year, their offense is better.
And a story to follow throughout the rest of the season for Stanford. 36 consecutive years playing in the NCAA tournament. They are sitting on the bubble with 6 weeks left to go.
There's Dr. Georgia Schweitzer Beasley, one of the greats in the history of Duke women's basketball, former ACC Player of the Year in 2000. She was a part of a great time here for Duke women's basketball. 4 Final Fours, 2 title games under head coach Gail Gestenhorst, who is a Hall of Famer.
20 ACC championships, but the last one was 2013. They were the regular season and tournament champs, so that's what Kara Lawson's fighting for this year. They open up the day 1 game behind Notre Dame. The Irish host SMU later tonight. A lot of history here for the women. And they are trying to make some more this season.
I believe when Gail Gestenhorst was here, I think she had 5 or 6 of her former players that are now in the medical field, mostly doctors or PAs. Pretty impressive that there was a program here that they could assimilate from their undergrad right into med school.
Ogden fouled on the drive.
Of course, Dr. Beasley is one of the well-known surgeons in the community. She's checking her phone right now because it's blowing
everybody's telling
up.
her she's on TV.
Yep. She's got her daughter and her son and husband with her. I will note that her son is wearing Carolina blue shorts down there, courtside.
Let's not get into it.
Let's not go there.
Hey, let's talk about what's of significance for the Duke Blue Devils and for NC State and North Carolina. And that would be, according to Charlie Brackett's, all 3 triangle schools right now in a fight to stay at home for the NCAA first and second rounds. They are on the host bubble as a 4 or a 5 seed. You got to be a 4 seed or better to host. Would not shock me if all 3 end up being there.
How cool would that be for the fans of the triangle? There'll be some people that'll hit all those games around here.
That would be a fun challenge. Looks like you're also going to be able to go to both USC and UCLA this year if you want to. Fournier fouled on the shot. I'm assuming the selection committee is going to put those 2 on opposite days.
Of course they are.
So you could drive back and forth and watch some hoops. USC was in a fight this afternoon with Indiana. Life on the road can be tough. They ended up winning a close one over the Hoosiers. Ohio State's in some trouble right now with Penn State late in the 4th quarter, a tie game. Paige Beckers is back in the lineup for UConn. That's big news for them.
Well, let's see what Hannah Hidalgo does today. I'm feeling a big number.
Big day?
I'm feeling a big number. Like, I'm going to say Hannah can get 35. Hannah, if you're listening, we're going to set it at 35.
Well, do we know yet if she's in the lineup
She
today?
should be. I'm anticipating
Missed a couple of games with an ankle injury.
I don't know for sure. Let me say that. Coach McGraw's in the studio. She probably knows. Now, because we said that, she just started tapping her foot, didn't she, Taylor Tannenbaum? She's tapping her foot in there.
Final minute of this third quarter. Ume goes to the left and off the window.
That could be an evolving, emerging piece for Stanford as we move forward. You got to have some size on the block and someone you can count on to throw the ball inside to get a bucket.
Kanawa uses the Fournier screen. And look at Toby in there to fight for the rebound, gets him another possession. Jackson, good screening by Duke to get her a look. And now they can hold Stanford for one shot. Guerra, blocked by Fournier. Uh-oh, a chance. Toby on the breakaway and a layup, but not in time. 57-38 Blue Devils in front.
Fournier with a piece on the block and then runs to the
Basket at the
rim.
end of the quarter is under review.
Nice network. And then we got units, Debbie. We got units for the women in the NCAA tournament.
And what that means is if you make the NCAA tournament, you will receive a financial unit next season, not this year, that was voted in unanimously by whoever votes on those things at the NCAA.
So, for example, if you get to the Final Four, you could make over $1 million for your conference.
Well, each unit is worth X number of dollars. There's a $15 million pool there, and then if you win in advance, whether you win or lose, you would get 2 units because you would go to the second round, and then so forth.
North Carolina coach Courtney Bangert is the president of the Women's Basketball Coaches Association, called it a great day and a reward for those teams that play well in the postseason and advance. It's been happening on the men's side for years. A lot of that money comes from the TV contracts. Of course, ESPN re-upped with the NCAA at more money, so that pool is now available on the women's side as well, and hopefully will continue to grow as the game continues to grow. And also every coach in America applauding Dawn Staley's new deal, because that tide could rise all boats.
It's same principle as what I like to call Clarkonomics with Caitlin Clark. Everybody benefits. Dawn's contract is good for everyone.
Ume up and in. Down to 17 points. Cardinals trying to get some game pressure on the Blue Devils here to open up the fourth quarter.
Good twist action to open up Richardson. That's just really good execution. Single side, 2-man game. They go twist, throw over the top, re-screen. Really nice work.
Ume had the position, and they didn't get her the ball, and now a whistle and a foul underneath.
Watch right here. This is just a good job by Richardson. Agara in drop. A little too soft. No contest.
This is a Stanford team that averages 77 points per game. But it has been tough sledding against this Duke defense all afternoon. In particular, that second quarter where Duke outscored them 25-7. 3 on the shot clock. Ijiwoye,
Nice.
up and under.
Carol Lawson likes her offense in front of her bench. Point guard at heart.
Richardson, nice hesitation, floats one up short. Thomas is there. Wood pulls up.
Yeah, see, this is where Duke, because they play great D, and if a team doesn't turn it over, they execute and they get good shots. But they've got to be a better shooting team, scoring team. And they haven't had any shots under duress today. I mean, they haven't seen much resistance in terms of defense, but they also aren't seeing much game pressure resistance.
Yeah, 14 fast break points for Duke today. Got a whistle off the ball.
Well, this would help Stanford if they could get to the free throw line and stop the clock. Get some downhill action so you can put some pressure on Duke. Try to pick up some fouls to get to the free throw line. Duke with just 2 team fouls. Good screen. There you go.
Ijiwoye got it. She's got 8. And a timeout called by Duke as the lead has dwindled. It's down to 14. They've been up by as many as 25.
Watch this screen. Dimitri sets. Ijiwoye for 3. Two-way player in women's college basketball right now. She can dictate on the defensive end and create offense, and she's an excitable player to watch. She plays with pure joy and passion.
Both Stanford and Cal have a road trip still to South Bend coming up next month.
A possession of zone here by Stanford.
And a foul on Ijiwoye on the box out.
Boy, Nunu Agara is going to start to think the officials got her number today. It just seems like she's picked up some interesting fouls. This is on a box out.
That one was on Ijiwoye.
Oh, okay. I thought they were calling that on Agara. She's got it wrapped up there on the rebound.
The left hand. Stanford trying to apply some pressure. They have chipped away at the deficit that was 25, now down to 14.
I like the change, though. Kate Pay's gone back to the man on the baseline at a bounce play, but I like the idea of zone to change it up a little bit.
Richardson, pretty feed, Fournier and 1.
That's a really good pass.
That's how you change momentum right there.
It's a nice drive right here, Richardson, and then a throwback.
So after Stanford was starting to make some noise, a chance for a 3-point play here. And Toby finishes it off.
You can run the baseline. Now you can't.
Well, they don't set a screen or anything. Hardy able to find some space. And the takeaway for the Blue Devils. Takeaway's been the word of the day. They have taken away the offense for Stanford. Like Bosgana, only 0 for 3 today. They score at the other end. They've kept Dimitri quiet, only 5 points. Agara, her scoring has come at the free throw line. And only 4 of 9 3-point shooting. And that's going to be an offensive foul on the Cardinal. check that 3-second violation. Thomas.
See, those are the shots you're going to have to be able to make if you're going to go deep into the tournament, because they're getting good looks. They run good stuff. Good take by Gara. Coach Lawson hasn't dumped the playbook. They're running a lot of the same stuff over and over here, saving a few things for later. Not today, but another time. A lot of Iverson cut into single-side ball screen action.
Shot clock's down to 5. Mayer uses all of it and gets the bucket. She's got 11. Third Blue Devil now into double digits. Jackson with 16. Thomas flirting with a double-double right now. 10 points, 9 rebounds. Agara again off the bounce. Drops it off for Ume. Back to Nunu. Missed the layup. Fournier, 9 points, 5 rebounds off the bench for Duke. Missed in the lane. Ghana. Duke now with numbers on the push. Mayer will take it and make it.
There's a 3 opportunity.
Agara off window.
Off the skip, which is a nice job in transition. That's something that has always been a staple of Stanford's offense, is the skip pass in transition.
Nunu with 15 points, 10 rebounds today for the Cardinal. Jackson to Thomas and a foul.
Ume is guarding Fournier, but she's not coming out of the paint at all. She's just staying inside around the rim.
This game is hinged on that big second quarter for Duke. Stanford has actually won the second half by a few points. But Duke took them 25-7 in that second quarter. Thomas now with that double-double, 12 points, 10 rebounds, her first of the season. And gets a nice hand from the crowd as she checks out.
Very efficient is what I would call her game. Nice and tight around the rim. And very good defensively in their ball screen coverage. When you've got bigs with length that can guard on the perimeter, that's a benefit. And you can do a lot of things to scheme around that.
Blue Devils will get set. Their next 3 will be on the road. SMU, Georgia Tech, and then the Play for Keg game on a Monday night on ESPN2 at NC State, February 3rd. Stanford will head home for 3 in a row. They've got Cal, Pittsburgh, and then North Carolina before a tough road trip at Notre Dame and at Louisville. Told you about USC, a winner in a close game earlier against Indiana. No such luck for the Ohio State University. They lose their first game of the year at Penn State.
Oh, Carolyn Keeger with a huge win. The head coach at Penn State. Tough one for the Buckeyes.
Former Big Tenor Stevenson, the transfer from Purdue, misses inside.
Well, Duke, impressive today, Beth. A really good defense like we thought. The things that they do well on the defensive end, they consistently did for 40 minutes. And when you see a team that Carol Lawson has, it really is a young team. But did have Sweet 16 experience last year. She didn't have anybody that left for the portal. She told us before the game she wants to build it with high school talent if she can.
And develop, yeah. Like that high school talent right there. Fournier having an outstanding freshman campaign. That's a travel. Duke will improve to 15-4, 6-1 in the league. Stanford will drop to 10-8, 2-5 in the conference. Econoway with the steal. Cable with the layup.
Duke plays with a high level of urgency.
Ogden stripped by DeJesus.
You've got to be able to handle the first wave of their defense, not just inbounding the ball, because when you inbound the ball, they take their pressure back. You have to be able to handle the first action defensively, because if you can get them in rotation, they're going to be like anybody else. You're going to get open shots.
Foul called on the screen. He's the third on Fournier.
Stanford had a really good first quarter. And as you mentioned, the second quarter is where the separation came. And Stanford turned the ball over 7 times in the second quarter.
Final minute here at Cameron.
Notre Dame is clearly the best team in the ACC. But then there's a bunch of teams behind. NC State, Duke, Louisville is emerging. They have really improved and won 7 in a row. Jeff Walls has a young, talented team that's coming together. North Carolina will have something to say about who wins the ACC or finishes second.
You got 8 teams in the top 40 net right now. The projection is that at least 9 or 10 ACC teams would go to the NCAA tournament. And remember, the ACC tournament this year in Greensboro, with 18 teams in the league, not everybody gets to play, Debbie.
Only 15. So the double bye is really important. And if 15 teams go, that's 3 that don't get to go. That's, I don't know if the ACC has ever been set up like that before, but that's where we are in the new landscape of college sports with the expanded conference realignment.
That's trouble right now for teams like Syracuse and Miami and Pitt and Wake Forest. They've got work to do to work out of the bottom of the standings. There's your ACC in the AP poll right now.
I think Louisville's a team that should be probably should be ranked if they win today.
They're receiving votes, yeah.
Georgia Tech, Nell Fortner's team. You know, they struggled a little bit without Danny Carnegie. You can see the value of that freshman to their team, but they're fine.
They've lost 3 in a row.
I'm not worried about them.
Defense doing the job today for Duke. They're going to hold Stanford to their lowest scoring output of the season. Hold them under 50, 74-49, your final score. The Blue Devils, a winner over the Cardinals. We'll get set up for a chat with Delaney Thomas, but first back to the studio with Taylor and Coach McGraw.
Here in Columbia, I'm Taylor Tannenbaum alongside Hall of Fame head coach Muffet McGraw. Duke with a dominant win over Stanford today. What do you take away from the Blue Devils' big victory at home, Coach?
Their defense is unbelievable. When you can play defense like that, you're going to win a lot of games. You're going to be in every game. and that has been their strength. Today, their offense really looked good. They were getting some easy baskets, so Stanford, unfortunately, the turnovers didn't have a lot of turnovers, but the ones they had, those live ball turnovers, turned into easy baskets for Duke.
I know Debbie and Beth were just having the conversation. The ACC is stacked with talent, and Notre Dame is by far the best team in the league. But then there's a cluster after the Irish, and Duke is making a statement here. Who is the second best team, and could it be Carol Lawson's Blue Devils, Coach?
Duke is definitely making a statement. I think they had that inexplicable loss to South Florida just before Christmas, which, you know, sometimes you don't know how your team's going to react right before the holidays. But after that, they've really played well. Of course, the Carolina game was an abysmal shooting night for Duke. So they have that issue where sometimes they're just not going to score as much. NC State's an interesting team. They've been a little up and down. I think they're starting to really turn the corner. Louisville's a team that's been playing a favorable schedule up to this point. So it's going to really be interesting when they play Notre Dame, when the top teams play each other. That's when we're going to find out who the next
really
best team is.
And we were just talking at the end of this Duke game. It's like Duke will never take their foot off the gas. They push it till the end, but another big win at Cameron. They're now 10-0 at home. Send it right back out to Cameron with Beth Mowins and Debbie Antonelli with a star player from the game, guys.
Thank you very much. And that star player is Delaney Thomas. Congratulations on your first double-double of the season. 12 points, 10 rebounds. What was the difference for you guys, Delaney, in that huge second quarter when you really took charge?
You know, the first 5 minutes of the second quarter are a big deal. Each quarter is, but, you know, just playing together, playing off of each other was really important for us. Just keeping that intensity and that momentum for our side.
Delaney, what makes this defense so good?
I think it's our will to win. You know, we want it. We're hungry for it. We play together. We play off of each other. If one person gets beat, the other person's there for each other. So just our bond off the court honestly helps our defense on the court.
I want to talk about your defense specifically because you are blowing up ball screen coverages. You are defending at the rim. You run hard,
blocking shots
to the other side. Yeah, you're doing doing it all. Where does that come from?
Well, I learned a lot from my senior last year, Kennedy Brown, and then of course my position coach. Just knowing my teammates have confidence in me and just going out there and playing my butt off.
Well, congratulations on playing your butt off again today, Delaney. Fun to watch as Duke gets the win over Stanford 74-49, and Delaney gets the double dipper, 12 points and 10 rebounds. Big win at home here at Cameron for the Blue Devils as we get you back to the studio with Taylor.
All right, big win for Duke. Delaney Thomas with a heck of a game, 12 and 10 for the afternoon. And we have a quick score